there's a formula for success in America. Okay, that a lot of minorities refuse to accept that formula.
Right.
But I remember reading an article about immigrants that would come to the United States and they would live on government assistance for a year or two, and they would get off it and they would start making their own wealth, and they would but the African American community, they're born into the welfare system. They live their whole life in the welfare system. They die in the welfare system. So what's wrong? What happened to us? And I think there are some real historical questions or issues and things to think about that is. But I'm just saying the reality is, while other people, immigrants, come to America, make wealth and advance.
Yes.
A lot of Black Americans who are born here
Do not.
live and die in the welfare system, and there's something wrong with that.
And teach it to their
How do
children.
we diagnose it? I don't know. What's the solution? I don't know that this is the time and place to do that. I just know that
Well,
seems to be the reality.
To that point, I would think that the people in this country that are struggling the most would be the most supportive of border control.
Right.
Because if you're living in a bad neighborhood, or you can't pay your bills, or you're in a very poor, desolate area, crime-ridden area, don't you want your government's resources and focus to be on you, rather than helping out the people that are trying to come across the border illegally?
Right.
Wouldn't you rather them, instead of helping those guys out and making sure they got somewhere to stay and medicine to be healthy, how about the people that are here in those areas that need help?
Yeah, it was speaking of the guy that I guess he was on a visa, so I guess he wasn't illegal, but he worked illegally when he came to the United States. He wasn't trying to move to the United States. He was coming, making his money, and sending it back to his family.
Right.
I mean, somebody to come into the country, someone that can't even speak our language. I mean, the jobs that they're qualified or that they're capable of doing are not that many, and a lot of our Americans are not in a position to get a technical job. And as I was going through Sam's yesterday. I was going through Sam's, and now you can go and you can scan your own merchandise, and you can pay for it on your phone, and all they have to do is check your receipt as you walk out. And it's very interesting because as I do this, there's an elder, when I say elder, older than me, African-American gentleman, and when I pulled out my phone, he goes, "Oh, another job killer." And he was, I don't think he was referring to me, he was referring to the app.
The system.
But the bottom line is this: if the only skills that you have to offer society are to point and scan, that's not my fault.
Right.
That is not my fault.
Right.
That the bottom line is these non-technical labor jobs, some of these things are going away. If all you got to go is boop, boop.
And if you're going to make
This was purchased at a kiosk.
Yeah.
Without benefit.
on the way here,
On the way
nobody
here.
in there working.
Boop, boop.
On the honor system.
We're done.
On the honor system.
So,
Well,
yeah.
from the company. But
yeah, I have a receipt.
Their cameras.
To your point, and many of those people are the ones that are the ones whose jobs could be eliminated by technology pretty easily. Are the ones screaming that they're not getting
Enough money.
Oh,
yeah.
The minimum wage
Oh,
should
yes.
be,
The minimum
the fight
wage
for
fight.
15.
Yes.
I've been in a McDonald's already that has them. They have
the terminal that you
just go and swipe and they can get your food ready.
Yeah.
They
I
don't
can push
need,
a picture of the quarter pounder and the fries.
I just watch.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is if my debit
need you to
card
push those buttons.
or my credit card stays in my possession,
And I'll make sure I push the no onions button too. Which you half the time forget to push.
Yeah. So again, and that's
don't put onions on Tony's stuff. Don't do it.
That's why I say don't.
Sorry.
People still do.
It's this thing is that people want. I mean, there's relativism, there's entitlement in America. Somehow we lost that. You know, I mean, that's even a biblical concept of if a man won't work, then a man doesn't eat.
Right.
That you're not supposed to live off of other people. You're not supposed to live off of other people. Okay? You're supposed to bring something to the table.
That's right.
And I don't understand where our self-esteem has gotten so low or so corrupted
That we don't
we're
even care.
okay
That we don't even care.
with someone else giving you handouts.
Constantly.
We're okay.
Constantly.
I mean,
Not just to
Yeah.
get you out of a situation like, hey, look, you know, I'm having a tough time. That's a whole different story. But we're talking about life. Your entire life is about going and getting a check from somebody else that you did not earn.
For nothing.
That's horrible.
Entitlement.
It hurts my heart.
Entitlement.
It hurts my heart.
It hurts society. It's so bad for society.
Yeah.
It's so bad for the resources of a country. It's so bad for the economy, the entitlements, and I get it. I understand why a political party offers so many entitlements.
Well,
because
yeah.
you keep giving people
That's
free
free votes.
stuff, they're gonna be
Keep
voting
voting.
for
Like
you.
legalized bribery.
But people have to realize that entitlements is what is holding poor people down.
and there are things
yeah.
that can be done. Like, you know, when we talk about, you know, trash on the side of the street. If you're getting a welfare check, you know what I'm saying? You don't have a job. You got time to pick up trash.
You got to pick up.
And then you've created another job for somebody, maybe not, you know, not a real high-paying job, but you know, a basic
job,
level
yeah.
job of somebody
That's
that
the other thing.
supervises
Minimum wage is
everyone
not a
on
career.
welfare, picking up trash
Yeah.
or cleaning up,
Yes.
you know, graffiti or things like that. I went to Six Flags one time. I was in Six Flags with my kids. And I was just sitting there because I was tired of walking around, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm, you know, people watching, and I watch a young girl, okay, walk up to a stranger, and say, "Can I have $3?" She,
Ooh.
and my thought was,
My dad would have beat me up.
Yeah,
if
my thought
he's
was,
like,
how did you
Right.
get
He would
into
beat
how
me
did
up.
you get into Six Flags if you didn't have any money? But to think that a person got into Six Flags, had money or whatever, somebody gave you money, I don't know what happened.
Well, to get there,
to
first
get
of
into
all.
Six Flags, how do you view yourself and the rest of society that you would walk up to a complete stranger and say, "Can I have $3?" And I mean, kudos to the lady that
There's
that
a lot of
she
people
didn't
that
have,
think there's nothing wrong with that.
she didn't
Yeah,
have $3. She didn't have change. She had a $5. Gave the girl a $5. But did she create this a problem? Did she
Right.
feed into this problem? Like,
yeah,
what
it's rough.
the?
It's rough.
What is wrong with you? You know, I'm the kind of person, like, I tell people, you know, if I see somebody that seems to be, if you look like you're in need, or I can talk to you and find out you're really in need, I believe in helping
Yeah.
people.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
But if you know, you're wearing nicer clothes than me, even though, you know, when a teenager asks me for money, I'll even say, you don't have my DNA. You know, you're not
Right.
you're not my child.
Right.
I'm not responsible for you.
Show me the paternity papers,
Yeah.
and we might
We're-
talk. about
You're not
having
my
some
child,
money.
so I'm not going to
Okay.
pay for you. And how dare you? How do you have? I mean, I was
Until you're
ashamed.
18.
Until you're
Then you're
18.
out.
In some ways, if you need help, you need help.
Right.
But I was ashamed to have to take. There were times in my life, not, you know, before I was an adult and able to work, there were times that, you know, I remember being on free lunch. I mean,
Right.
I remember having free lunch at a point in time.
Yeah.
I remember, you know, in middle school and you know, the homecoming dance and being on the homecoming court, and everyone else on the court was going to eat. They were going out to eat. Well, I didn't have any money, so I had to be somebody else's parent had to invite me and pay for my lunch.
Right.
And you can rest assured that I ordered a water. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
You
exactly.
know, I ordered a water. I
Right.
ordered a cheap
Yeah.
meal.
Oh, you're buying?
You know.
Yeah.
Can I get some
I'll
dessert
take the
too?
porterhouse.
Yeah.
I'll take,
But
Well, give me that surf and turf.
but how can
And,
you? There is a lack of self-esteem in some of our poor. I won't just say African American or
Oh,
anything
no,
like that. It's just our
no,
poor,
no.
poor members of society
Oh
Absolutely.
gosh, yeah.
that are okay with and some have learned to exploit it. Some
Oh,
have
gosh,
learned to
yeah.
exploit
Oh,
it.
yeah.
They'll
Yeah.
stand on the street corner, and if 1,000 cars pass me a day, and I get $1 out of 10% of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I just made money that way. I
Yeah.
mean, so it's
crazy. Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head when you talked about self-esteem, because really, there is, aside from being a detriment to society, this whole the welfare state, basically, we'll just call it that as a shorthand. The welfare state crushes individuals. It crushes
Yes.
their spirits.
Yeah.
It changes who, people were made
It
to
holds
work.
people down.
People were made to work. Let's just get that out of the way, because I'm gonna go back to the Bible where we were talking about before, and where that big T truth is. And Adam was made to take care of the garden. He had a job even before the fall. So work isn't part of the curse, guys. By the way, work is part of the curse. Work is part of the deal. So we're made to work, and when you take that away from people. There are guys who retired from my job where I work. They're going strong, 75, 80-year-old guys, coming into work every day at 6:30 a.m. They kind of get forced to retire. They're dead in 2 years.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they've lost purpose.
Yeah.
Because work is part of who we are. So when you take that away from young people,
famous people.
oh yeah, and famous people, yeah, they retire.
Especially like old football coaches.
Yeah,
They'll coach and they'll be like, "These guys gotta go." He's 85 years old,
Right.
and then he's doing great. He's on the sidelines, and then
he's running along the sidelines.
yeah, and then 2 years later he's gone because he's dead because the
will
lost purpose.
the will is gone. So it's like, imagine now sapping that will, not from an 85-year-old, but from a 10-year-old.
Birth.
Their will is sapped from them even before they had a chance, and you see the results in the type of people who will go up to somebody in the middle of Six Flags, even though they got there just fine,
Yeah.
and ask for $3.
Yep.
So it's pretty rough. So we're probably running on time here.
We
so,
gotta do this again.
Yeah, but definitely got to do
We
this
could
again.
I-
we
we
could
could
just talk
keep
about
going.
anything
Amen.
forever. So
we just
this is the
we
squad
just
right
cracked
here.
a whole nother topic, and I'm like, we're out of time. And we got more to do.
Yes.
So thanks for having
Hey,
me. I
definitely,
want to do this
man.
again.
We're definitely gonna do this again. This is I'm gonna think of a clever name to call this little group here.
All right, I
but
like it.
but this is the squad right now. We're gonna come back, and we're gonna talk some more. So keep at it. This is St. John the Philosopher. God love you, man, and I'm gonna see you in another video.